Hey kiddos. Okay, so this week, since we are digging into Roblox and Candyland, I thought what a fun time it would be to make our own board game. But not only are we just making our own board game, we're actually going to practice a little bit of persuasive writing this week. And what we're going to do is you are going to pretend that I am the board game creator. I run a big company and we make board games. And I'm looking for the next big thing, the next thing that's going to drive the kids crazy. They're going to fly off the shelves. All the kids are going to want to play this board game. You're going to design it. And then you are going to write to me about why your game should be what I choose. Because here's the catch. We're going to pretend that I'm only choosing one. So out of the 48 different board games that are going to get turned in fourth grade, I'm only going to pick one. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a creative game and you explain it to where I'm like, yes, that's the one. So here are some things that I want us to think about before we even look at game boards. You want to make sure that you keep it simple, okay? Like the most simple game is the game that is going to do really well because it's not hard. There's not really complex rules. I don't constantly have to be pulling out the directions. So you want something with simple rules that's easy to play. And you want to make sure that you can explain it well, that it's not confusing when you're trying to tell me how to play the game. And it needs to be something that people are able to learn quickly. Like everyone knows how to play Monopoly. I don't have to get the directions out from Monopoly. So you want to make sure that it's something that we can learn really, really quickly so that we can enjoy it. Your game has to allow for at least 2 players. Now you can have more. You just have to make sure it's at least a 2-player game. Think about how you can only probably need to use like 1 dice or maybe like 1 or 2 different dice. But we don't need to be having lots of complex 5 different dice that are all different sizes and shapes and colors and tell you to do different things. You want one thing that I'm going to move across the board and 1 dice that tells me my moves. And then you want to kind of roughly design your board game before you start adding all your artwork. So think about the theme of what you want your game to be. Think about like Candyland, right? It was all themed with candy. Think about Monopoly. It's themed with that idea of you're buying and selling and putting houses and hotels. Trying to think of another game here. Chutes and Ladders. Think of another one that we like, Trouble. Okay, they all have a theme, a point behind them. So think about what's your theme of the game. What's its point? How do you win? How do you move? Is it just based on luck, or is there a strategy behind it? Is it interaction between the players? How does the game progress? Are there different stages to the game? All of that stuff. You want to think about what kind of game is it? Is it a racing game where you're trying to get to the finish first? Is it a collecting game where if you land on some spots, you earn points and the person to get 20 points first wins? Is it a strategy game like checkers or chess? Is it a quiz game? Think about quiz games are like the games that you would play where you have to answer the question correctly to get to move forward. Is it a battle game where you're like Battleship? Okay. You want to make sure that you're really thinking through all of these things before you get started. So here I'm going to show you some board games that you could, this website is going to be on your Google Classroom, so you're going to feel free to look through it. But just you're going to scroll through here. You're going to look at the different game boards. You can pick one of these or you can design your own. Either way, what you're going to do is you're going to draw out your board game. You're going to decorate it, design it. And when you're all said and done, you'll take a picture of your board game and send it to me. That way I have it to look at with your writing. So what you're doing first, okay, is we're just kind of brainstorming through these things here. You're going to fill out this pre-write for me. In this pre-write, it's asking you what are the rules, what type of game is it, what's the theme, reason 1, why your game is better than others. Reason 2, why your game is better than others. Reason 3, why your game is better than others. What's the name of your game? And what age group is going to play your game? These are all questions that I want you to answer. Once you have your pre-writing done, then the next day what you're going to get is this organizer here, where you're going to start this is like what we call a rough draft. So right here, you're going to state your opinion. What that means is you're telling me my game is the best game because, or you should pick my game because. You're telling me why I need to pick your game. You're going to give me your first reason, and then you're going to get some details to support it. You're going to give me your second reason why I should pick your game, and then give me details to support it. And then you're going to do reason number 3, and then give me some details to support it. And then in your conclusion, we wrap it all up. Once all of this is done, you're going to get a blank Google Doc where you're going to type it out in complete sentences, subject, predicate, periods, capitalization, details. It all makes sense. And I'm going to be reading it and giving you some feedback. So the first thing that you're going to do is fill this out. Okay. I will look at it, give you some feedback. Please open this up and look at your feedback before you start on this. You'll do this. I'll give you feedback. Please open it up and look at it before you start writing. You'll have 2 days to write. I'll give you feedback probably Thursday-ish, and then you'll have Friday to publish it. Okay, Friday to fix anything that's wrong with it or make it better or make it clear if maybe it was confusing, and then you'll turn it all in on Friday. So you're going to have this on your classroom to kind of get some ideas about what you want your game to look like. You're going to draw it out, design it, decorate it, take a picture, turn it into me. You're going to brainstorm to try to get some things going. You're going to outline your paper, and then you're going to write your paper. So those are the different stages of what we're going through. So day 1, all we're working on is looking through this website and pre-writing. Day 2, we are rough drafting. Day 3, we are writing it, typing it, getting it set out. I'll give you some feedback. And then the last day, you are publishing it. Okay? All right, kiddos, let me know if you have any questions. I cannot wait to see the awesome creative things that you come up with, your great ideas, your fun games. I just overall am super excited to see your work. So let me know if you need anything.